The first time he touched me, it wasn't with his hands. It was with his stare, cold enough to slice glass, yet hot enough to strip me down to my bones. Mr. Elias Thorne. He wasn't just my boss, she was a myth in tailored Armani. CEO of the multi-billion-dollar Thorntech empire. Untouchable. Inhumanly disciplined. Always 3 steps ahead of everyone else in the room. The kind of man who walked like thunder and never smiled unless it meant the end of someone's career. So when Jamie West, freshly graduated intern, knocked over his coffee mug and splashed his $10,000 desk and he didn't flinch, I should have known something was wrong. No yelling. No scolding. Just a long, loaded silence. Then he looked at me and whispered, "Clean it before I lose control." I laughed nervously, thinking it was sarcasm. It wasn't. That was Monday. By Wednesday, I'd seen his eyes change colors once. Crimson just for a second, when the VP flirted with me in the elevator. By Friday, he told me I was staying late and locked the door. "You don't understand what you do to me," Elias said, voice low, words trembling like they'd clawed their way out of his chest. He stood by the window, looking out into the night like it might give him the strength to stop whatever the hell he was holding back. City lights danced on his sharp cheekbones. He looked like sin sculpted by a god, and for some insane reason he was shaking. "I'm just your assistant," I said, trying not to drown in the pull between us. "You're not just anything." His eyes burned into mine. "You're the reason I haven't lost control in over a decade." I took a step back. That was my mistake. He was on me in a blur, not violent, not rough, but desperate. His hand gripped the back of my neck, lips inches from my skin, breath hot. It was too much, too fast, too raw. "Elias, say stop," he whispered, voice fraying. "Say stop and I will." I didn't, because I didn't want to. The moment his fangs pierced my skin, it wasn't pain I felt. It was release. Like every ache I'd buried, every tension, every need I didn't have a name for, it all bled out of me and into him. After that night, things didn't go back to normal. They shattered. He avoided me for a week. I pretended it hadn't happened, but my body betrayed me every time he walked into a room. I craved his presence like caffeine, shaky, addicted, ruined without it. I started noticing things. He didn't show up in mirrors. He never ate. He had a habit of disappearing between meetings and coming back looking like he'd fought through hell. He never touched anyone except me. Then came the boardroom disaster. We were in the middle of a quarterly review when Mr. Grayson, the COO, made a joke about me being Elias's new toy. Everyone laughed. Elias didn't. He stood up, crossed the room in 5 seconds, and slammed Grayson into the wall with one hand. "Apologize," Elias hissed, eyes glowing red. The boardroom fell silent. I saw the veins in his neck bulge, teeth bared, not pretending, not hiding anymore. My blood had made him unstable. I'd broken something in him, and he'd broken something in me, too. That night, I went to his penthouse. Uninvited. The door opened before I knocked. "You shouldn't be here," he said, shirtless, eyes wild. "I can't sleep. I keep dreaming you're screaming in a language I don't understand." He froze. "You hear my dreams?" I nodded. "What are you, Elias?" He exhaled like it hurt. "A curse," he whispered. "But you make the hunger quieter. You make me feel alive, Jamie." He walked toward me slowly, cautiously, like I was something holy. I grabbed his hand. "You don't have to be alone anymore." He trembled, then kissed me. Not like a boss, not like a monster, but like a man who had forgotten how to feel and was finally learning again. Of course, nothing is ever that simple, especially when love's involved. The Enclave, the Vampire Council, found out. Apparently, biting a human without full transition or contract was illegal, dangerous, forbidden. They gave Elias a choice: erase my memory, or watch me die. I begged him not to choose, but I saw the agony in his face. He couldn't lose me, not after finally letting himself feel. So he ran, took me with him. We drove cross-country in the dead of night, from New York to Arizona, slept in abandoned motels. hid in shadows, made love in desert moonlight. He told me his real name, Lucian Elias Thorne. Born 1823, turned in 1850, alone ever since. Until me. They caught us in Nevada. 3 enclave guards. Silver weapons. Ultimatum. Elias stood in front of me like a shield. Touch him and I'll rip your hearts out. You're unstable, one sneered. Look what he's done to you. I'm not unstable, Elias growled. I'm in love. He turned to me then, eyes soft. And I won't let anyone take that from me again. I stepped forward. Then turn me. The guards laughed. Elias didn't. Jamie, if I turn you, you'll never feel the sun again. But I'll feel you. Always. The turn wasn't beautiful. It was brutal. Agony in waves. Bones breaking. Skin burning. A scream that never ended. But through it all held me. Whispered my name. Kissed my tears. And when it was over I woke up in his arms. In the heart of the Nevada desert. With a sky full of stars and a hunger I finally understood. He fed me. Gently. Lovingly. I bit into his wrist and tasted everything. His pain. His devotion. His soul. We live in New Orleans now. Own a bookstore that only opens at night. He still wears suits. I still forget where I left the coffee filters. He still looks at me like I'm his lifeline. And I still wake up craving him more than blood. Sometimes, when the moon's right and the street's quiet, he kisses my neck right where he bit me first and whispers, "You ruined me, Jamie West." I always smile and whisper back, "You saved me, Elias Thorne." And both are true. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.